right, y'all. This is another episode. This is episode number 20 with the Public Therapy Podcast with your host, Chris.
And Ray.
All right. So it's been a couple weeks since we recorded. So nothing really special has been. This smoke is
really it's in your face.
Really?
Okay, there we go.
So nothing too much has been going on since the last time we recorded.
Since we came back from Alicante.
Oh yeah, that was the last time we recorded. So it was just relaxing, took some time off. So not that this takes too much time or energy or whatever out the way, just we just haven't found time to get around, so we apologize for that. So what's up? What you got going on? Did you go to the gym today?
I did go to the gym today.
Oh.
So I'm studying for my personal training certification, and I found out I have some kind of there was a condition in the book that said something like your head protrudes forward, and it's like a mini hump right here on the back of my neck. And so I've been self-conscious about it for the past couple of months. I realized when I sit kind of humped like this. And so I try to sit up, and then when I read that in that book, I was just like, oh my God, that's what I have.
Y'all don't have standing desk at work?
Yeah, I have one. I stand up sometimes.
Oh. You just start standing up more often.
I know.
So I went to the gym today. I did legs. It wasn't the best workout. So hopefully I'll sleep good tonight. I've been sleeping better these days. It just takes me a while to go to sleep. Then the weekends I don't sleep.
Oh, so that's what happened since we came back last Thursday, which was the 20-something, I'm not sure. So if today's the 30th, it was 26 maybe. It was
Today's
record.
Definitely the 29th.
Okay, well, last Thursday from the 29th. It definitely hit a record high over here. We were at 104 degrees.
It was 104?
104. I think it was about 1 o'clock. I was just like, let me see how hot it is. We were in there just taking bets. And we opened up the phone and it said 104.
So like we told y'all before, we don't have air conditioning out here. The only air conditioning you're going to find is inside of your car. There's air conditioning at the gym though.
There's in grocery stores. And that may be it. Large department stores.
Yeah.
That's about it.
As far as you trying to rush to get home so you can get in your AC, we don't have that luxury out here. So imagine 104 degrees without AC. I mean, a lot of our listeners in Texas, they know.
They know, but they also know that they go through the heat and then they're like, whew, okay, when they get into the house. Yeah. All right, let me cool down for a little bit. It's none of that. Just imagine being outside, it's hot as hell, and then you go into your house and all you did was get away from the sun. Yeah, that's true. And then late at night, we actually really all last week we didn't get no good sleep because we've been sweating in our sleep and stuff, and it's hard to sleep in the heat, at least for me it is. So that was really uncomfortable, but it's cooled down. The weekend was actually pretty cool for the most part. I think it got cool on the next day,
Saturday, Sunday.
The next day, Friday, it went from 104 and it went down to 80. Yeah,
it was actually kind of chilly Sunday night or Saturday night.
Yeah.
I stayed up late watching the fights and stuff. So, the Pacquiao fight has happened since then. So, Manny Pacquiao won. You didn't stay up for that, so we can't really talk about that too much.
No, I didn't.
But he fought Keith Thurman, and he won a well-deserved battle. So, Pacquiao, that is. So, that was a good fight. And then, I've been watching the UFC fights. I don't know what it is. I think just because I have access to it now, so I'm always wanting to watch it. So I'm trying to keep up and trying to learn the new fighters and all that other stuff. But that's all that really happened since then.
One more thing has happened since then. My friend, one of my close friends, Olivia, and her boyfriend, Kyler, they had a daughter on July 12th, Carrington Elise. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Congratulations, Olivia.
Congratulations, Olivia.
Oh. Yep, we ain't got them. We ain't got kids yet.
Nope.
That's gonna be a good episode whenever that does happen in the next few years. We'll still be around in a few years.
As long as you say years.
Yeah. All right, we are back. I don't know what just happened, but we pretty much lost our video feed, so we apologize. So, all right, hopefully I'm able to edit that and make it look regular. All right, so what was you about to say before we got cut off?
I said I had absolutely nothing to talk about, so we can start.
All right, so we're back. Don't know what happened with the video, but okay. Yeah, so we ain't really got too much to talk about as far as what happened within the past couple of weeks. Nothing too excited. The Lion King movie dropped. We haven't seen that.
Haven't seen Aladdin.
Yeah, it's hard to go. I mean, it's not hard. It's just whenever I want to go to movie theaters, I have like cravings and stuff. I always want to, like, I can't go to the movie theaters without getting candy. And I can get a Monster, I guess. I guess I could go. We can go one day. Let's see what this weekend looking like. Might be able to go see Lion King and stuff. I heard it was good though. Someone said this morning on the podcast I was listening to that Beyonce sounded like she was reading her scripts. She played Nala.
I'm sorry, but on a scale of 1 to 10, Beyonce's acting in almost every movie she's played in has not been above a 5.
She did good in Cadillac Records. That was a good one. But that's because it was a singing movie, though.
Yeah, and that's probably her 5.
No, I think that was actually pretty good acting in that one. Did she win an award or something?
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Every other movie.
What other movies she been in?
She been in what is that? Obsessed. And
Idris Elba.
Yes, and what I just can't think of it right now, but it doesn't matter because I can't name you a movie where I think Beyonce just did amazing. It's cringy to watch her act.
Yeah, what was that? Goldfinger? Was it Goldmember? Austin Powers Goldmember. That was funny. That was a good movie. I like all the Austin Power movies. Might watch one tonight. We'll see. But yeah, but I heard it was good. I heard it's the exact same thing, except it's just CGI. So we might be able to check that out this weekend. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So Raven posted a question on her personal page and the Public Therapy podcast page. So what was the question that you had asked?
The question was, do you think that marriage certificates should be able to be renewed every year? And so I realized that after I posted that the original question was that, do you think that marriage licenses should be able to be renewed every 3 to 4 years for like a small fee, $70 to like $80? Because I mean, so there's two things about that. It's like,
sound like a car payment or something.
Yes and no. And yes being because some people get into marriage not knowing what they're getting into, or some people get into marriage and realize a few years down the line, this ain't working, this ain't, for us. Some people decide very young to get married, and it's like you're dealing with a decision that you made a long time ago. And so you grow, you change, and you realize, okay, this ain't it. So when our 3-year mark come up, we're just not going to pay to get our license renewed, and we can part ways. That was one view. The other side of it is, it's like, no, you made the commitment. You need to stay in this commitment for life, no matter what. It's all about you needing to find different techniques and stuff to make it work. Then I also had those people that said they don't agree with it because you don't need the government that involved.
We'll just talk about your point of view first before. Oh, you talking about that was on the original post that you
Yes.
saw? Oh, okay. I thought you was getting into the questions.
That they didn't want the government that involved in it because you're paying the government to stay married at that point.
Yeah, that's why. So I think marriages is cool, but I think they should do away with getting the government involved in your marriages. I think actually one of the listeners said that on one of the comments and stuff, but I don't like how the government gets involved in people's marriages and stuff. Like, why do we have to pay to get married? Like my dad married us and we still have to go pay. What was it, like $75 or something like that?
I want to say it was $90. I don't know why.
Yeah, we have to pay for that, and it's just, it's dumb. Like, what did we pay the government to do?
File the paperwork to have it on file for public records.
Yeah, like, only thing I think government should be involved as far as relationship go is like, if you have kids and you're not with, like, you're separated from the person you had the kids with, because there's obviously complications with that. So I think that's the only thing, as that way one of the other is held accountable as far as supporting that kid or getting help supporting the kid. But
so what do you feel like in those situations where people get married and one person makes a shit ton of money, and then the other person, they didn't have anything coming in, and they're not considered like the business starter or the business person in the relationship. They're living a certain kind of lifestyle, and then say the person that's making the money decides they want to leave. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that that person can get their money and then all of a sudden look at the other person in some kind of, it could even be like discuss or something like, I'm not feeling you anymore, I want to get divorced, and the government doesn't get involved at all. That person can literally just leave.
So I think with that, there should be some type of legal system in play for that. But I don't like how, what is it called, alimony, where you have to pay this person for what is it, 30 years or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's 30 years. I think, well, it's in some states. I don't know if it's in all 50 states. But I think they should do away with the whole alimony thing, because why do I have to pay because I fell out of love with you? Like, why do I have to pay for that for the next 30 years? That's not my fault. I mean, it could be, or it could be your fault. But as far as alimony, that I think they should do away with that. But the shit is not fair to get into a marriage and then be the person that's making all the money, and then you just leaving your spouse or ex-spouse off to the side with nothing, pretty much to rot. I think you should be able to provide some type of assistance to him or her, as far as like maybe fronting them $20,000, something like that, depending on however much you're making. So if someone's making $1 million, they should be able to give them $100,000 or whatever to get them off their feet and give them enough money to go buy food and find somewhere to live and stuff. So
almost sound like alimony.
No, because alimony, you pay so much money over a long period of time. If you just
so you're saying just give them a lump sum,
give them a percentage, and you pay whenever you're done paying that, whatever, or you come up with some type of payment plan for that. But alimony, I think it's like a certain amount of money every month for like 30 years, and part of your assets and stuff.
But don't they take into account how much that other person makes?
Yeah, they do.
And so it's kind of the same thing.
Well, but I think I think alimony is a lot more though than what I'm talking about.
So you're just saying they should cut the percentage back of alimony then?
Yeah. Or not make it 30 years.
So cut the time back. So just cut the time and the percentage back.
The time and the money, because I know people that are I know people like older, they're obviously older, that have been paying alimony for like at least 10 years now, and they have a whole different family. They have a whole other family that they're trying to support, while the other person has a whole different family. So
do you not feel like that's the consequence of breaking that bond that y'all said y'all were gonna have for life?
No, I don't think that's a good consequence.
You don't think so?
No, it's money. Why is that? Why is that a good consequence? Because you fell out of love with me, now you got to pay with money.
I know, but it's like you're making it seem like, because you fell out of love with me. So if it's almost like that's a good reason why we should break up, because I fell out of love with you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you made the vow, if you took it all the way to marriage, did you not expect to try to make it work through anything? And something as simple as, I just fell out of love with you. Like that's a good reason to leave somebody and get divorced. So if that person truly feels like that, if that person truly feels that way, then yes. Okay, then. If they just feel like, I just fell out of love with them, so I want to leave them. But we thought we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. 30 years of payments, you don't feel like, you like, nah, I ain't fucking with it. I ain't trying to pay.
No, absolutely not. No, that doesn't, you would do that? So let's say not that you're not the breadwinner or anything like that, but let's say that you made you were bringing in 20,000 more than me.
Okay.
And you decide to leave me or whatever.
Okay.
But you know that you leaving me, you're gonna have to pay me, let's say, $2,500 each month.
Okay.
For 30 years.
Okay.
You'd be okay with that?
Well, see, that's where you get into what kind of person am I? Am I really gonna just say I just want to leave you?
Wait, hold on, wait, because I think, yeah, okay, if I answer the question like that, then and I could have said the same thing you're saying. Am I that type of person? Saying. No, I'm not gonna leave you for that. Like, that's not gonna stop me from leaving you because of alimony or anything like that. But I'm saying, would you? Because you're saying that you're pretty much saying that you agree with alimony, so you're okay with paying the $25,000 a month for 30 years. Is right? That's what you're saying, right? You saying that you're okay with alimony?
I think the only reason why I feel this way is because, damn, it sucks. Because I was about to say, you should know who you're going to marry. You should go into marriage thinking we're not going to get a divorce. There's no way we can get a divorce. We're going to work through everything. We're going to do this. Like, you should go in with no doubt that you're going to get a divorce. So if it does happen, I think it should be the worst of consequences.
What, like, why do you think that should be?
I don't know.
What's up with the consequences thing? Like, why does there have to be consequences?
Why would you commit your life to somebody? And
what if this person or whoever this person is was tricked? Not necessarily tricked, but the person wasn't who they thought they were. They started revealing their true colors 5 years later down the road. But they've been pretty much faking it, because we know there's fake people out there faking the funk. And then the truth comes out like 5 years later about who they truly are, or something like that, or something haunts them from the past or whatever, and things start to change. Obviously you still try to make that work, but after so long, I'm not happy no more. So I have to be unhappy for the rest of my life because of a commitment that we had signed. So yes, it's the right thing to do, but come on.
So like you said earlier, when I said money, you was like, it's money. Like you said it like that. So in a sense, if you're that unhappy, is simply just saying, okay, cool, I'm gonna part my ways and I'll make the payments. If that's what's going to bring me back my happiness, I'm willing to sacrifice paper to make me happy.
Well, yeah, that's what people are doing now anyway.
Okay.
But I don't agree with alimony. You know?
And so is it that you don't agree because majority of the time the alimony is awarded to women?
That's not why I don't agree with it.
Well, I'm just saying, most of the time when you hear alimony, it's the man is paying it to the wife.
That's not true. It's usually the one that's bringing in the most money.
I know, but I'm saying, do you have like a bad stigma towards it?
No, I just have a bad stigma of paying someone to leave them. I'm gonna leave you because I'm not happy. But don't worry, these paychecks gonna cut. They're gonna pretty much they're gonna make up for the heartbreak that I've given you. That's what that shit's saying. When you look up the definition of alimony.
And it's crazy that you're saying it like that. You're saying this is going to make up for the heartbreak I gave you. Like, so does that mean that the person that makes more money is always the person that hurt the person that doesn't earn as much?
Say that again?
Is the person that's making the most money always the one that's going to leave? Because you made it seem like, well, I'll go ahead and pay you for this heartbreak.
Okay, so the person that's not making the money decides to leave. Does that person that's making the most money still, do they deserve to pay alimony?
So the question is, because can't you make that decision? Can't you guys literally y'all have your lawyers when you're talking about divorce. Y'all can agree that I think you can. I think you can agree that you don't have to pay me alimony. You can keep your retirement. You can, because I know someone personally right now who says my ex-wife, thank God she didn't take any of my retirement.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's what the lawyers are for. There's negotiations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But if your spouse is so strong on getting that alimony and they have a strong case, then, and if, like, let's say I was to lose that and you wanted the alimony so bad, which it sounds like you would want the alimony so bad. I'm joking, but then you gotta pay the alimony. But I'm trying to look at the definition. Yeah, so it's just supposed to be a husband's or wife's provision for a spouse after separation or divorce. And then who gets it? So not every former spouse receives alimony, which is also called spousal support or maintenance. Alimony will be awarded only when a former spouse is unable to meet their needs without financial assistance from a spouse who can afford to pay it.
Okay, so not everybody gets it. If we decide to part ways and I can support myself and you can support yourself, there's no law that says you have to pay me or I have to pay you.
No, but I think there's some cases too. Like, obviously we're not making money like that. Like, me and you not bringing in millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. But let's say that there was a celebrity.
Mary J. Blige.
Let's just say that there was a celebrity married to someone who is... They just might be a chef or something like that, but they're not bringing in that much money. Not saying the chefs don't make money, but let's say that they're just a regular chef working at Razzoos or something like that. Then what was I going with this?
I don't know, because I gave you a great example, and then you just was like, "Nah, I'm gonna run this way."
Did Mary J. Blige have to pay alimony to that guy? Who was she married to?
It was like her manager. Like, he wasn't even.
But she had to pay him alimony, right?
And she had to pay him because he was living a certain lifestyle. So when they got divorced, he was saying that I can't support living this type of lifestyle anymore. So I need your support. But he was the one out here. He had a whole other woman. I think, was the woman pregnant? Like, he was out here living a whole other life.
Well, Mary J. Blige should have got a better lawyer.
Wow. His wife was out here making all the money. And then when they got divorced, he said he still needed support.
Oh. I mean, that's pretty stupid. I think alimony is dumb. I mean, I don't agree with the concept of alimony. Yes, I believe that there should be some type of assistance as far as like there should be like a transition period or something like that. But I like the way Jeff Bezos and his wife did it, or his ex-wife, how they parted ways. I think, what did he end up giving her, like a $1.5 billion or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, he gave her $17
billion. It was something crazy.
But they had an agreement though, and that's how most of them. I think that's how most marriages or most divorces do happen when they at their high level. But from what it sounds like, from reading the definition, alimony is mainly for those people that's bringing in a shit ton of money, and the spouse is not necessarily the breadwinner. So, yeah.
Hey.
Why you get so emotional over this alimony thing? Why is that?
I didn't get emotional at all. Actually, I'm just
okay. Go back to the question that you posted on the page. Let's see what some of our listeners, some of our followers have said on there. Okay, so I'm not going to say the name, even though y'all can go and see. But someone said, that's a good question. Personally, I think the court should stay out of marriage, and it should be between two individuals and God. To me, it's more meaningful and spiritual, but again, that's just me. So what you think about that?
Yeah, the government should stay out of marriage. I mean, what is the point of marriage? Why does government need to be involved in it?
Because they need the money. The government needs our money. That's why.
Like, who thought that because y'all love each other so much, y'all need to pay us to be together. Y'all need to pay us to make it official.
Yeah. And they give you a nice piece of paper and some ink. That's pretty much it. So, actually, there was kind of getting off subject again, but somebody may have said something. I forgot what I was listening to, but they were talking about less people would get divorced if you have to get divorced the same way you got married. So let's say we had a wedding, right? Mm-hmm. And it had like a huge ceremony and stuff like that. Those same people that were at your wedding have to be at your divorce now. So you have to throw a divorce ceremony, and those same people that were at your marriage has to come to the divorce, and y'all have to have a parting way celebration. What do you think that's going to do? Do you think that's going to help the divorce numbers go down, or do you think it'll remain the same?
It would go down, because if you were required to throw the same type of celebration, then that means you're required to spend the same type of money that you did. And a lot of people overspend for their weddings. So to know that, damn, we got to put up all this money for a party so that we can get divorced, it would be a lot of postponing. It would just be a lot of people parting ways without officially getting the divorce.
Yeah, and then you got to think, a lot of people ain't going to call those people that was at that attended the wedding.
A lot of people don't want to tell people that we're getting a divorce. People don't want to have people in their business like that. So if we had to literally call people that were at the wedding to tell them that we need to bring y'all together again because we want to get a divorce, it would be a lot of why, and people in your business, people trying to change your mind type thing, and I think it would turn a lot of people off.
No. You want to read the next one?
So it says, I think reviewing everyone's marriage license doesn't make logical sense. With all the things court can be focused on, I also believe people should go into a marriage with the ideal to stick it out for the long haul. If divorce is placed on the table, then deal with it then.
Did you read that one before? Was that your first time reading that?
No. I read it previously.
Let's see. I think reviewing everyone might just make a lot of the same thing.
I agree. Courts have a lot of things to be worried about instead of making sure. But that's the thing. I don't think they're necessarily going through like an audit to make sure that people come and renew their license. But I agree that if it's every 3 to 4 years or something like that, then the court would be concerned with probably sending out a mailed reminder or something like that. And so it would be wasted time on the court's hands, as far as wasted paper and wasted just effort trying to notify people, because it would be consistently shooting out mail telling you need to come in and renew for a lot of people who would just let it expire.
How far does marriage even go back? Let me look at the history of that, because we know that the wedding ring thing that haven't even been around for 100 years yet. I don't think it's been 100 years yet, or it might be coming up on 100 years. So and I was just thinking, I was saying to myself just now, I was like, is marriage still going to even be around in the next 100 years, or are they going to is it going to be less prevalent? Is it going to be more, or is it going to be like a different type of process?
Probably less prevalent. It's going to be more polygamy, or just honestly probably people just not caring enough to get married.
Yeah. I mean, you see now, a lot of us are getting married later. Like we got married later than the normal couple. So you see people now getting married in their 30s and 40s now. So I think people, I don't know. Because remember, people was getting married like at 18, 19 years old back in the day. Shoot, even earlier than that, 16 years old at some point. So, and then we had another one. Did you have someone that said something on your personal? I'll read this one.
No.
If you need a pass every year to make sure this is what you want, then why did you get married? That's just my opinion. So Yeah, pretty much same thing like you had said earlier. That's in the DMs. So I don't have to expand too much on that one, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Why did you get married in the first place without wanting to make that commitment? And I think a lot of people, they think they're committed and they think they're in it for the long ride, and then they get into it and they realize that it's something that they don't want to do. I see it happening. Is that gonna happen to me? I don't know, but I do know that I have friends that have been in marriages and stuff, and it just didn't work out. So I understand. Did we want to get into that other DM, or we can get into that later? That one's.
You can get into it.
We'll get into that a little bit later. And then I think I had one on my personal. Did you have one on your personal?
No.
No one didn't say anything? Okay. Oh. So we got that no one would be together if that was a thing. LOL. Marriage is a commitment, is good in bad times, and that's just an easy way out. So I agree with that one as well. And then everybody else just kind of just sent faces and stuff, so nothing crazy on that one. So I guess everybody kind of sees things the same way, or they viewing everything the same way. But that's us in our circle, though, not like we hang out with them or anything like that. But that's people. I would love for like a popular page to post that. Well, you got it from a popular page, right? And was there like ignorant things on there that you saw?
It was a lot of.
I can't say ignorant.
Look how people are moving away from God and what marriage is supposed to be. Because they were like, you made that commitment in front of God. You should literally go into this as a life commitment. There should be no way out. There should be no option for a divorce. There's no, I fell out of love with that person. Like, if you made that commitment in front of God, then you will find everything in your power that you can do to make it work. And I do understand there's instances where one person gives up, and so you're like, well, if the other person is giving up and they're not giving the effort anymore, then what are you supposed to do? But no, if you honestly went into it with, I made the commitment before God to be with this person forever, then divorce isn't an option. So I do understand when people were saying like, look at this generation, this is so sad. Obviously your marriage wasn't centered around God, so what did you get married for?
Oh. What?
None. You laughed, huh?
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
That's all I got. Okay. Didn't you say you was gonna hit me with something?
Yeah. I mean, it's a total different subject, but pretty much Vatican cops bust drug-fueled gay orgy.
What is going on?
At home of Cardinal's aide. So at the Vatican.
Okay.
Cops ran up on pretty much a gay orgy. Mm-hmm. And there was drugs and stuff involved. And apparently it involved some preacher or one of the Cardinal's aide. I gotta pull it up. That shit was funny when I read that. So imagine you being at the Vatican and you hearing, well, I guess it wasn't at the Vatican. It was at one of the houses near the Vatican. I can read. You want me to read the post?
Go ahead.
All right. So Vatican police raided a drug-fueled gay sex party at an apartment belonging to an aide of one of Pope Francis's key advisors, according to a new report. The Holy Father is enraged since the home inhabited by Francesco Cardinal. I'm not even going to try to read that. Pretty much the secretary belonged to the Vatican's Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith. The arm charged with tackling clerical sex abuse. Yeah, I shouldn't be reading out loud. I'm the worst reader out loud. So cops raided the apartment in late June after the neighbors voiced concern about multiple people facing strangely while streaming. I'm done reading this. I can't read. Yeah, but what do you think about that as far as
That's hilarious. And it's crazy because whoever that assistant is obviously they're not there anymore, but it's just
he's still there.
Oh, so man.
He went on, they put him at a spiritual retreat.
A spiritual retreat. That means everything that was happening, they already knew about it.
Yeah, that or this person has some type of power or influence over somebody. But he's at a spiritual retreat in Italy somewhere. But this is kind of embarrassing because I don't know who that person is, but obviously people that are familiar with the whole how the Catholic Church is set up, they would know exactly who that person is because it's one of his trusted aides. So it's not like some secret person or anything like that. But I'm glad we went and saw the Vatican before that happened. Well, actually, who knows? Did you ever hear that myth that the Vatican holds the biggest porn collection in the world?
No, I haven't.
You never heard that before?
No.
Yeah, you should look it up. Y'all look it up. The Vatican apparently has the largest porn collection in the world. So
how you gonna hit me with such a hard fact like that and you ain't looked it up?
Look what up?
The fact.
I've looked it up.
That's so it is. It's a fact. Cause you was like, have you read such and such?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find like a actual picture of the porn inside of the Vatican, but this Vatican holds largest porn collection. Vatican pornography collection. Does the Vatican house the world's largest? Hold on. Go ahead.
What is their reasoning for having it? Like, do they have like a legit reason why they say, we store videos of X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z purposes?
I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with as far like sexuality and erotica and stuff. Because at the Pope, so the Pope and what else is it called the Pope? The Pope at one point they were allowed to have sex with whoever they wanted to, way, way, way back in the day. And then I think what had happened was they became rock stars or whatever, and they was like, no, like they was getting everyone pregnant, so they decided to revoke sex with the Pope. So I think they have to resort to something else.
I really hope your story is right.
I think they have to resort to something else. Someone fact check that for me.
Please fact check that, because he out here, that ain't a story. You just try to wing.
Yeah, most of the collections of the most of the collections of
pornography.
No, pornographic. God, dog. Most of the collections of pornographic paintings and writings in Vatican City are hidden away in private vaults and are viewable only by Catholic priests. But even the public spaces in the city are covered with foul pictures of naked or nearly naked men. Well, we know that. That's just how that period was.
So maybe in their collection, there was one that was just the bomb, and they decided to make statues of that and just place it all around the city.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's like some crazy erotica books or something like that all over the Vatican. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty interesting. I can't believe you didn't know that.
Nope.
Yeah. How many of y'all knew that? Hit us in the comments. All 6.
Okay, so tackle that DM, but you gotta be strategic.
Pretty much someone hit us in the DM talking about, first thing we're gonna talk about the finance though, the whole finance issue. I think we talked about it before.
Yeah.
But pretty much there's an individual whose husband is not being financially, what would you call it? Financially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So the husband's not being financially responsible, and this person makes less than their husband, but they're constantly having to make sure they pay the bills, because if they weren't the one making sure that they were paying the bills, then the bills get paid late, which is harming your credit. You know, it's going to damage your credit after a while. Mm-hmm. Well, not even after a while. It's going to start damaging your credit immediately. So while I was reading that question, my whole thing that I was saying to myself is, what is this person spending the money on? And why don't you know what they're spending the money on? You know? Mm-hmm. What would you think whenever you read that, as far as the money situation?
I don't know, only because I don't know how much money is coming in, and I don't know how much the expenses are. So, if it's covering it to the T, okay. If you know personally that after the paycheck hits the bank account, and you know personally how much each bill costs, and you know that the bills can be paid on time, and when the bills are paid on time, you know that you have money left over. If that's the case, and then on top of that, the husband is saying, I ain't got no money. Mm-hmm. I'm broke. I need you to pay for this. I need you to pay for that. Then it's like, okay, well, this is how much money that should be left over. Why is it that every month this amount of money disappears?
Yes, I think so. For that situation, I think they need to sit down with a certified financial planner, and they need to go and start budgeting stuff. Or you ever heard of the envelope method, where you pull out a certain amount of cash and you can only spend that amount of that's the only spending you can do?
Successful.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's a difficult for me to answer, because even like me and you, we don't have joint bank accounts or anything like that, but we roughly know how much each of us have, you know, and we pretty much we split the cost of most things. Like me and you, we both go half and half on groceries for the most part. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so because my card doesn't work in the grocery stores out here. So Raven, she'll buy groceries she'll buy groceries most of the time when we go out. But then I'll send you money. Like I'll just wire you the money later on. And it may cover most of it. Maybe it'll just cover half of it. Who knows? Depending on the situation. So, I mean, that's hard, because I think we're, for the most part, financially responsible. You know, we're not living paycheck to paycheck necessarily, but we always, if we wanted to, we could save a shit ton more money than what we do now. But it's just, we in that slump. We just, not slump, but we just moved and stuff. So things are expensive out here. But I think that was kind of weird that this person is going through that as far as the finances go. Because isn't finance is one of the main reasons why people get a divorce?
They said finance is number one and infidelity is number two.
Yeah, so you need to get that. You need to sit down and have a serious conversation with this person or with your husband and see what the hell's going on. Or bring in a certified financial planner.
I know, and honestly, let's not even front. The first time you mention it to him, he's going to be defensive about it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be like...
he's already been defensive about it.
So it's one of those things where you probably need to go ahead and make that list first. You need to, if you know how much hits his bank account, you need to literally have a sketch of it out on the table. You need to say, look, this is how much hits your bank account. And you need to literally have the bills in the exact amount and say, look, this is water, this is gas, this is electricity, this is groceries. And, you know, this is a buffered amount to account for, you know, kids or movies, stuff like that. Just have a guesstimate amount of what you would spend on different things or things that you know that you guys do, so that can already be accounted for as well. So you say, you know, this is how much we get, this is how much is being spent, and this is how much should be left over. What is this money going to? Because I've already accounted for the things that I know that we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was something else. I was going to say. Oh, and be honest, or let him know that you're not going to be upset if you just be straight up front with me. Because I just need it. Like, you need to know what he's spending money on, like Raven was saying. But he needs to also be comfortable with telling you what he's spending his money on. Because maybe there's something going on that maybe you don't know about, or maybe he's ashamed of. Hopefully ain't another kid in the picture or something like that. That'd be crazy. Oof, that'd be rough. But
oh my God, he took it extreme.
I always take it extreme. But you gotta sit down and have that crucial conversation with your husband.
I just know it's gonna be hard. Having crucial conversations is not easy because, so as a man, whenever a woman says let's talk, or can I talk to you, or anything of that nature, men don't take that well. They get defensive. They don't want to hear it. They sigh. Here we go. You always trying to argue. And so it's not that easy to say, hey, let's have a talk about X, Y, and Z. She can say, let's have a talk. Be honest with me. I won't get mad. And no matter what, for some odd reason, that is just not received well to say, I want to talk. It's always...
Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't want to talk. Like, why do you have to say that? Just talk. But
then you just said, make sure you let him know that he can be comfortable.
I'm talking about us.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm just saying, even then, it's like you have to almost prep somebody to be comfortable with you to talk.
Yeah.
If I just start going off at the mouth about something that I saw, read, or something like that, you'd be like, huh? Well, wait, where did this come from? Why that just came out of nowhere. And I think it would be more so focused on, so that's what you've been thinking about. So you just, instead of me saying, hey, babe, I need to talk to you. Can we sit down? Can you be honest with me about something? That I feel like you can say, okay, let me relax. Let me hear what my wife has to say. Let me take this conversation seriously, instead of, I hate when you start out with let's talk. Well, no, because people need to be prepped about certain things. So like in their situation, money is a touchy subject. Mm-hmm. I can't just sit you down and say, look, this is what you making. This is what it's going to be like, whoa, wait, what? Here we go with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think definitely get all the ducks in a row first. Mm-hmm. So have like an Excel spreadsheet with everything. Like, put it on you first. I would say, for their situation, I would say, put it on you first, because you already know that there's a problem. You recognize that there's a problem. How much money am I spending? What can I afford to pay as far as bills go? And then then you look at him and say, as a team, what can we do? What can we do to make this work as a team? Like, look at it as a team. I think that'll be perceived a lot easier. So I can do this. Can you cover the rest of this? Or what do we need to cut back on? You know?
Yeah, but I also think it's going to be a little difficult as well, because it also said, I'm going to stop paying his bills. So it's, in a sense, it's like, what do y'all have that is separate that you have to say, I'm going to stop paying his bills? What bill does he have that you don't consider y'all's bills?
Yeah, because
what personal bill does he have that you're excluded from, and you're feeling like that you're obligated to pay something for him, instead of, I'm paying, like, this is my portion, or this is my responsibility here, so this is what I'm going to take care of.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because, and obviously we're looking at it from our own perspective, because we don't have bills. We don't have our own bills, you know. Like, you might have your AKA dues that you pay at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And what do I have?
I guess my bills would be my student loans.
Yeah, but but I mean, other than that, but I don't think they have.
Yeah, probably those. Not. But because honestly, I mean,
I'm trying to think.
The loans are in my name, but they are loans now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but that's understood.
Just like
we had that conversation before we got married about the whole loan thing. I knew when I married Raven, we was already 6 figures in debt off of her college. We
are not 6 figures in debt off my college. No, we are not. Okay.
I have a house.
Let's just clear. Okay, we're 6 figures together. You made it seem like I came in with 6 figures. I didn't.
Okay.
So
are we 6 figures?
Together, we definitely are.
We're 6 figures in debt for
together.
Real?
Yes, we are. You have a house.
Yeah, that house is under 6 figures. What I owe on it,
and mine is under 6 figures. But together, they create 6 figures.
You still owe like 50-something thousand.
If you think I'm going to say the amount that I owe on this podcast,
I know,
you
but
lost
just say
your mind.
But is it over 50,000? Good job, yo. You need to get a better job because I can't do this shit no more.
Leave.
Oh man.
Hopefully, Alimony will make my loan payments.
I don't know who the hell gonna pay that. Nah, this is getting long. I gotta eat, so we'll answer the rest of we'll have like a part 2 to this next week. We'll record over the weekend or something like that. I'll answer the rest of them because it was like I think it was like 3 other questions inside that DM.
Yeah, talked about savings account. Talked about a couple things. So
yeah,
we'll get to it.
Well, yeah. So definitely start once during that conversation you have, start working a savings account too. Download the Digit app. The Digit app is a great saving app. This is not a promotion. Me and Raven, do you still use your Digit app?
I still use it, although it's $2.99 a month.
Yeah, but it's worth it. So you can literally inconspicuously save money without even realizing it. I mean, sometimes you might, because sometimes Digit be tripping.
Hey, I had to set a limit.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
When my bank account get below this amount, stop taking that money out.
Yeah, so that's one thing. That's one good thing about Digit too. They'll stop taking money out if you set a limit on there. Because if you don't, they will take you all the way down. They'll take all your money if they notice that you're not spending.
Then it's like a delay too. So say you got $50 left. Now, of course, they look at how much money you have in your account. So if you got $50, they're not gonna take 35 of it. But
it's an algorithm that they have set up.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy because
it's like 10 cents.
You'll get to that low amount, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Whew, I'm barely making it." And you don't realize that Digit took out a certain amount of money. It just hasn't hit your account yet. Mm-hmm. So a few days later, you got even less than what you thought you had because of the delay that it takes for the money to actually come out.
Yeah. But with that, so since you can inconspicuously save money with that, it's so easy to pull the money out, which I don't like that. I don't like that it's so easy because you can get your money back like the next day if you want to. But get the Digit app, download it on your phone, and use that money for like from now until Christmas. Use that money to spend money on the kids or something like that.
And so if you're listening and you are interested in getting the Digit app, hit the DMs because we do have a link for you to join Digit.
Yeah. Y'all hit us.
Definitely forgot about that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, because I think if you hit us, we can give you you get $5,
yes,
$10, something like that.
You get $5.
Yeah. So there's other apps out there too, like Acorn and stuff that helps you invest. So definitely y'all need to sit down and figure out what can we do to become wealthy.
Start out with a small goal. Go to him and say something like, "Hey babe, I feel as though we need to have at least $1,000 in savings." And so if that's an agreement, okay, we need to have $1,000 in our savings account, then you need, have something set up to where I make a payment to the account, you make a payment to the account, and then, say we want to get $1,000 in 6 months. So how often do you get paid? And see, y'all can split the amount. Y'all can both have it going into that account so that y'all can get to a certain goal in a certain amount of time. And then from there, you can say, okay, once we save this amount, are we going to stop? Or once we get this amount, we're going to cut back on what we're putting in the account. But something needs to be put in place to where y'all can say, okay, let's save a percentage of what we're making and that we don't touch at all. So,
like even with us, I I'm paying for stuff that I don't even use no more. Like, we don't use Hulu no more. We still use Netflix, so we can keep that. But I was actually thinking about today canceling the Hulu plan. Because when was the last time you've been on Hulu?
I can't remember.
Yeah, so we're just pretty much paying. But that's just like nickels and dimes type stuff, though. We don't have no crazy. We really don't spend too much like that. No, but yeah, so hopefully that works out for you. Hit us in the DM, let us know how that turned out. Don't wait until it's too late to have the conversation, though. You need to have that conversation sometime this week, because the longer you wait, the more pain and suffering you're going to have to go through. And obviously, like Raven said, that's going to be a hard conversation to have anyway, so there's no way to sugarcoat it. I mean, you can sugarcoat it a little bit, but like I said, put the blame on yourself and then try to figure out. Not put the blame on it, but put it on you and then try to work your way around that.
Yeah, come with solutions at the beginning. Like, don't come out with the blame game. Come out with, hey, this is the problem we're having, and I got a few ways that I think that we can fix it. Hear me out. And then say, this is what's going on. This is where we're doing bad. However, this is where I think we can improve. And
definitely come with the solution. Don't just come with the problem. Come with the problem and the solution. All right. You got anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
All right, y'all. This has been another episode of the Public Therapy Podcast with your host, Chris.
And Ray.
Bye.